Okay, now let's continue. Okay, so meron tayong mga ginagamit na tools sa economics on how to explain and how your economic agents like your firms, sellers, or businesses respond to yung behavior nila, or how they respond to yung dami ng ibebenta nila in response to price ng fertilizer, price ng seeds, price ng feeds, price ng flour, price ng sugar. Okay, those are some examples. So we are relating yung paano magre-respond yung producer, seller, or firm in terms of yung dami na ibebenta niya in terms of pagbabago ng presyo ng inputs niya. It's like yun lang, and other factors na pwedeng maka-apekto sa dami ng gusto niyang ibenta. Okay? So sa mga ganitong klaseng analysis sa microeconomics, para mas madali nating ma-analyze yan how your seller or producer or firms respond to these changes in the prices of their inputs used in producing goods and services, gumagamit tayo ng tinatawag na economic model. So, economic model ay isang simplified version ng reality, simplified version of reality that allows us to observe, understand, and make predictions about economic behavior. So, economic model mo ay pinasimpleng version ng realidad para mas madali natin maobserbahan, mas maintindihan, or makagawa ng prediction regarding sa economic behavior ng isang buyer, household, or workers, or your firms or businesses in terms of changes in yung mga factors that will affect yung dami ng gusto nilang ibenta, o dami ng gusto nilang bilhin, or dami ng oras na gusto nilang magtrabaho in response to, let's say for example, for workers, in response to changes in the wage rate or minimum wage rate. And for producers, sellers, or firms is we will look at their behavior in response to pagbabago ng presyo ng inputs. And for consumers naman is we'll look at their behavior in terms of yung dami ng bibilhin nila and how this will respond sa pagbabago ng presyo ng bibilhin nila, or pagbabago ng income nila, or pagbabago ng presyo ng ibang goods na related doon sa binibili nila na produkto. Okay, so ginagamitan natin ng economic models yon para mas mapadali ang pag-analyze natin, para maobserbahan, mas madaling intindihin, at mas madaling makagawa ng prediction on how your economic agents will change and their responses or their actions will change in response to these factors. So ano mga example ng economic models? Meron tayong pwedeng gumamit ng salita, words, or use in para mas madaling ma-quantify yung changes sa economic behavior. Economic agents may ginagamit ka ng mathematics or mathematical equations of expression. And then we'll use algebra and graphs to explain, o para mas mapadaling ma-explain yung economic models na to. Okay, so explain natin yan ng mas maigi. We'll cite some examples para lang alam nyo anong ibig sabihin ng economic model. Okay, so example para mas madaling ma-capture nyo pa ang ibig sabihin ng economic model is, or simpleng version ng model is, example, yung mannequin ay isang model ng totoong tao. Bakit isang model ng tao? Siya ay replica or pinasimpleng version ng totoong tao. Paano mo masasabi na model ng tao yung mannequin? Model ng tao yung mannequin kasi yung form, yung itsura niya, yung form ng katawan niya is itsura ng tao. Pero merong mga ibang features ng tao na hindi na-capture yung nung mannequin, yung kakayanan mag-isip, kakayanan makaramdam, at iba pa. Kasi ang capture lang ng mannequin as model ng tao is yung form ng tao, itsura ng tao. So, ganun din yung sa economic model. Pinapasimple niya lang yung, magamit tayo ng economic model para mas mapasimple yung reality, yung realidad. Para mas madaling maobserbahan, mas madaling maintindihan, at mas madaling makagawa ng prediction about sa economic behavior ng nagbebenta o gumagawa ng produkto at serbisyo, na nagbebenta ng produkto, which is bumibili ng produkto, which is yung consumer, at yung mga nagtatrabaho o yung workers. Okay, now let's cite some example dito ng inyong economic model. So meron tayo dito yung tinatawag na isang sample na is pinasimpleng version kung how the economy works. Okay? Or anong bumubuo sa isang ekonomiya, and how yung participants ng ekonomiya interact with each other within an economy. Okay? So ito yung pinasimpleng version on how your economy works. Okay? So, kaya ang tawag dito sa economic model na to ay circular flow diagram. Kung saan yung diagram na to, which is, ito yung diagram na to, circle na to, diagram na pinapakita ng diagram nito yung mga participants sa economy or economic agents na nagkakaroon ng interaction at palitan sa pagitan ng household, okay, at ng firms, o yung firms ay gumagawa ng produkto o serbisyo at nagbebenta ng produkto o serbisyo na kailangan ni household. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng interaction in terms of exchange ng goods and services, at the same time exchange ng resources sa pagitan ng household and yung firms or businesses. So, dito sa diagram na to, makikita nyo na ang components nito ay meron tayong goods and services market. Okay, meron tayong goods and services dito, kung saan sa goods and services market or product market, ito, ay dito yung nagkakaroon ng ibebenta ni firms or businesses yung kanyang produkto, goods and services kay household. At eto rin yung venue sa goods and services market kung saan yung household will buy the goods and services from your firms or businesses. Okay. Another is meron ka ring labor market kung saan sa labor market ibebenta ni household yung kanyang labor resources sa business firms or other employers, kasi kailangan ni firms or businesses ng kanyang laborers or workers para makapag-produce ng goods and services na na kailangan ni households na ibebenta niya kay household. So sa realidad, in the real world, madami kang klase ng markets ng iba-ibang klase ng goods and services, at iba-iba ka ring markets ng iba-ibang klaseng laborer. Pero dito, pinasimple niya lang yung version ng realidad. Okay? Na nakakapture niya lahat ng essence ng iba-ibang klaseng markets ng goods and services at iba-ibang klaseng markets sa iba-ibang klaseng laborer. So, kaya ang purpose ng circular diagram ay simplifies this distinction in order to make the picture easier to grasp. Ibig sabihin, pinasimple niya ito, yung realidad na mas komplikado yung realidad, para mas madali nating makita on how the economy works and how yung mga goods and services market and labor markets ay nangyayari sa economy, or how nagkakaroon ng interaction between the household and your firms. Okay? And how they exchange their resources. Okay, so makikita nyo dito sa diagram is Meron tayo dito sa firms. Ito yung si firms, nasa right side, and nasa kabila si household. Okay. Si firms, yung magbebenta, gumagawa ng produkto o serbisyo na ibebenta niya kay household. Makikita nyo dito, from firms, yung goods and services niya ay ibebenta niya kay household. Kasi ito yung pinupunan niya, ito yung binibenta niya ng goods and services, ay ito yung mga wants and needs ni household. And then, kapalit ng goods and services na binenta ni firms kay household o binili ni household kay firms, magbabayad siya kapalit ng goods and services na yon kay firms. Bakit siya magbabayad? Because you pay for it because you get satisfaction from the goods and services that you buy. Pag sinabi natin meron kang satisfaction na nakukuha, is meron kang benefits that you acquire from that goods and services that you buy from the firms, kaya ka nagbabayad to acquire those benefits. And at the same time, sa pag-produce ng goods and services ni firms na ibebenta niya kay households, kailangan niya ng laborer. Okay? Kailangan niya ng tao na magtatrabaho sa kanya. So, yung labor services ni household, ay ibebenta niya kay firms. Okay? Kung saan si firms ay in exchange doon sa labor services ni households, babayaran niya ito ng wages, salaries, and other benefits. Kasi kakailangan niya yung labor services niya para makaproduce siya ng goods and services na ibebenta niya kay households. So, ito yung pinasimpleng version on how your economy works and how the household and firms interact with each other within an economy. Okay. Now let's cite another class of economic model. Yung kanina na naka-mathematical equation yung model.